Hey there, friends. What is going on? It really has been a while since I've really been active on social media. But recently, or actually towards the end of 2022 to be more exact, I've been looking for ways to become better and improve myself. And that journey has really taken me to look more internally, especially my thoughts and my feelings. Okay? And so for those of you who know me or might get to know me if I become more active on social media, or you get to see that I'm optimistic by nature. But man, as I've been looking or learning about my own thinking, my eyes have certainly opened to more things I can do to become better in all aspects of my life. And that's whether that's to be a better husband, a better father, son, a friend, employee, and you name it, the list goes on and on. So essentially, how to be a better human being. Okay. And so because of that, I've decided, why not share some of the things that I'm learning? Okay. Yes, I tend not to be on social media a lot, but as I'm learning, why not share some of the nuggets that I am picking up, and as I'm seeing how my thoughts, my behaviors, my beliefs are impacting me, and also share some of the steps or actions that I'm taking and that are creating positive results for me. Okay? And so really with that said, there is one theme or one belief or principle, you might call it, and you can expect to hear a lot from me about, and it can change everything for you. Of course, that's if you will let it. So whether you're looking to become a better parent, improve relationships, lose weight, overcome a negative habit, be more confident, pursue a career, or even take a good life that you have now and make it even more rewarding or more fulfilling. So that one belief is that everything starts with us. Okay. Now, no, most of us believe in some higher power, but ultimately it still comes down to we have a choice. Okay. So everything starts with us. No, we are always the ones in control. Circumstances and people don't create the results that we get. No, we do. Our thoughts do. And so when you think of when a circumstance occurs, we have a thought about it, whether it's positive or negative, and that thought creates our emotions, which then determine the behaviors, the actions that we take, and our actions will lead into the results that we get. So ultimately, a belief is something a thought you keep thinking, you keep repeating, right? So that becomes your belief system. Okay, and of course, our belief systems will impact our thinking and our emotions, which then impact the actions that we take in life. Okay, and so this is where sometimes it gets a little tricky because subconsciously our belief system is kind of determining how we act if we're not aware of it. So if you have a negative belief system, then subconsciously you'll tend to do negative things or think negatively, and then vice versa. If you have a positive belief system, subconsciously or consciously you'll be doing positive things. And so let's talk about an example. So you can we'll think of a negative one. First, you have a circumstance where you make a mistake, right? So your a possible thought you might have about that mistake is, man, I'm an idiot. I can't do anything right, or mistakes are bad. Okay, so if that's the thought that you have, you can imagine then a logical emotion might be worthless, or it could be fear. If you're at work, you make a mistake, and you have that negative thought, then you might be afraid, oh, I'm going to lose my job. And so with that emotion, then the action might be avoiding finding ways to improve or to fix a problem, or next time if that thing you're working on comes up again, you might avoid it altogether, or you take steps to improve, but because of that fear, you're blocking yourself. You self-sabotage. Okay, so the result might be, you don't inaction could be the result, right? You don't do anything, nothing happens. The problem still exists, or you are taking the action, but you're self-sabotaging because of the fear that you're experiencing. Okay? So let's look at this same situation with someone who's more positive. So you make a mistake. The thought might be, well, I guess mistakes are a part of life. I mean, I'm not perfect. I can't get everything right. Or, no, I'll learn from this. So that's the thought that you have. And you can imagine that the emotion will be different to where you might feel determined to get this right. Now, some of us, we might get annoyed. I get annoyed when I make a mistake. But no, I own that emotion. I realize, no, I'm choosing to be annoyed. So I own it. But I'm still determined to fix that problem. And so if that's my emotion, then I'm going to take action, find ways to improve and fix that problem. So I could do research. I can talk to other people who might have some answers to, or who've experienced the problem before. And so I look for ways to fix that. And of course, the result is I learned something, the problem is fixed, and I can move on, and I didn't make it mean anything horrible about me. Okay, so things are good. Okay? And so when I think about this principle, one person that comes to mind a lot, especially with my psychology background, is Viktor Frankl, and he's someone who was in concentration camp. So he went through a very difficult time, but even in that situation, that circumstance, he was able to find meaning in his life. And if this video is not too long, I'll share a quote or two from him that I like. But he was able to find meaning in his difficult situation because of his thinking. Now, know that, we can't be happy all the time. It would be nice, but it's not. It's a lie to believe that we must be happy and comfortable all the time. No, we're not supposed to be happy all the time. If we lose a loved one, you will experience negative thoughts and feelings. That's a given. We're human beings, and that's understandable. The difference is to know that it's always a choice, right? So if you let an emotion come, just own it. Just know it's your choice, and that way you're not blaming external circumstances or anyone else. That way you are in control of changing the thoughts and the emotions. Question for you then is, when a circumstance happens or someone says or does something, what do you make it mean? Right? So that meaning will be the thought that you have. Okay, so as you can see in the examples I just shared, your thoughts lead to an emotional reaction, and your emotions will guide your actions, which gives you your results. And this is happening, and whether we realize it or not. So for most of us, it is happening subconsciously, and our thoughts, unfortunately, tend to be negative. You think of evolution back then, we always had to be fearful and be thinking about the negative to survive. But we're not in the Stone Ages anymore. But that's the default that most of us tend to have. And so it's to our advantage to put in the work, to be aware of our thoughts and change them and for the better. So really think of that. Okay, we may not like it at first, right? Because it's a little hard for me to swallow. I'm sure for a lot of us to swallow. But when you think about it, it is a beautiful thing. It is empowering to know that we are in control, not other people, not circumstances or situations. Like we have the same capability to be happy now, whether we are in a tough situation, we don't have the things that we want yet, compared to if we actually do have what we're seeking, or more money or whatever it may be. And you tend to see that when we reach a certain point, we've achieved something that doesn't necessarily make us happy, right? Because we're ready for more. And so the same capacity to be happy in the current moment, is always there, and we are in control of that. And so don't let situations and others define you, and certainly don't let them determine your feelings and actions. So hopefully you can see how important it is to be aware of your thoughts, because if you're not, you will subconsciously react to situations and get results that you don't necessarily want. Okay? So take some time this week to think of something specific in your life that's not going as planned, or maybe it is going well, but you're ready to take it to that next level, but you're feeling some resistance and it's just not happening yet. So identify what limiting thoughts you have that might be problematic. Don't resist them. I mean, just the more we fight them, the more they persist. So just let those feelings, thoughts come in. Don't judge them, and don't judge yourself. Just take it as an opportunity to learn about your thoughts and your own feelings, but use them to become more aware of your thoughts in preparation to changing them to thoughts that will serve you. Because until you are aware of what thoughts and emotions that are driving you, you can't change them. So take that opportunity and to do that work. So the mind is one of the most powerful part of us. I mean, it is powerful, it's beautiful. And so instead of letting it subconsciously make us sabotage ourselves, let's use it to create a happier and more abundant life. And I think I have time to read one thing from Viktor Frankl. Let's see, I mentioned him earlier. I think a few of the quotes I love from him is that, one of the ones he says is, happiness cannot be pursued, but it must ensue. So you just work on yourself. Don't seek happiness, because if you're seeking it, then that's usually a problem already. And then he said, between stimulus and response, so that circumstance I talked about, and our emotions or reactions, between stimulus and response, there is a space, and that space is our power to choose our response. Okay, in our response lies our growth and our freedom. Okay. And then the last one I want to read says, everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. So our attitude will determine our altitude. Okay? So until next time, let your mind and thoughts blossom. Take care.